G'day, this is Captain Noob, and this is the 45 Auto Submachine Gun, or if you're familiar with this thing in Fallout 4, just a submachine gun. Basically, it's a Thompson. We've all seen this thing before in those old World War II movies, and sometimes in those gangster films if they've got the full grip there. Yeah, so this thing is a weapon that fires 45 autos, which is from the Honest Hearts DLC, which is a pretty good DLC. Not my favorite, but still pretty good. So, unlike the one in Fallout 4, this thing isn't a total shit show, and it'll actually do pretty good damage. We've got this thing loaded with the Super 45s, which will do 1.3 times damage and minus 4 damage threshold, so that's like a guaranteed extra 4 hit points of damage, which probably isn't too much in terms of these death claws, but you know what, it's something. It does make the gun degrade quicker though, so we'll have a weapon repair kit on speed dial here to make sure we get this thing in its tip-top condition. Right, let's open fire. Enough of me talking. And there we go. We've absolutely obliterated that death claw there. And this one can go down too. And you know what? We'll take out these first lot here, and then we'll improve this thing quite a little bit. So we'll just go ahead and quickly get this thing in VATS and blow this goddamn dude's head off. One thing to note about this, though, it is a two-handed rifle type weapon. I'm going to say that in quotations because it's not firing rifle bullets. It's actually quite good in VATS. It's fairly good on its AP use efficiency, which makes it a pretty decent weapon all round, really. It's got very high DPS and a very fast firing type of weapon. So you know what, this is what the the Fallout 4 submachine gun should have been like. But no, it was terrible for some reason. They balanced it to be a very low level weapon, and as such it is terrible. Outclassed by the combat rifle, which you can probably find on earlier people. And not many people use the submachine gun anyway. You find it on the occasional raider, but it's mainly the dudes in the that vault, the triggermen, that's it. They're so forgettable that I had to bloody go through my entire brain to actually bring them up. But yeah, there we go. So we can actually improve this thing. It's got a couple of mods which we can attach to it, which we'll do now as we repair this thing. Righto, now we've got a 50 round drum on, which is good, and a compensator on it, which will increase our accuracy just a little bit. Not really reflected by our crosshairs, but whatever, that's fine. So we'll quickly sprint over to this little rock over here, and then we can rain death on these death claws pretty much as usual. So we'll just open fire on these blokes. Yes, it seems to be doing well. Since this thing's got a little bit of repair on it, yeah, doing a little bit more damage now. We'll probably want to take out the mummy and the daddy death claws around here because they're the ones that I'm most worried about. They're a little bit out of range for this thing right now, so as you can tell, there's a lot of bullets flying around and not a lot of them are hitting. But since they're all gathered around, misses on one target would be a hit on another, which is rather convenient that they bunch up like this. That's probably a guaranteed hit, even though I'm completely mag dumping this thing. In terms of recoil, there is none. There's no muzzle sway or anything like that. I don't think any of the Fallout New Vegas weapons have the recoil, which makes them, I don't know, that's probably one of the reasons why the shooting mechanics doesn't feel as good, because there's no feedback for what you're shooting at all. Everything's just like a laser pointer type weapon, and the only inaccuracy that you get is just a random weapon spread, which does disconnect you from the weapons a little bit. So that's probably the reason why it's a little bit out there and bad in terms of its shooting mechanics. Also, I just pissed off some dude who didn't like me talking about the differences in shooting mechanics in Fallout New Vegas to Fallout 4. Apparently that I was whining about that. So yeah, whoever that person is, if they're watching now, I am sorry about my whining. Now fuck off. Now we get to kill these death claws. We're in a good position to just keep on mowing them down. Okay, this thing's a little bit on the damage side, and as such, we've got a little bit of extra reload animation to it, and that worried me there because we actually got charged by death claws there, which would you believe is not a great feeling, because these death claws, unlike the Fallout 4 ones, are a little bit more threatening because they basically book it right at you rather than dancing around you, and if they do attack you, it's a guaranteed like loss of half your health, rather than some of the death claws in Fallout 4 basically doing nothing to you. And even the mythic ones at a certain level, they're just a joke. They're just bullet tanky jokes, not threatening in the slightest. So that's a good thing about New Vegas. So yeah, I've praised New Vegas. What are you gonna do now? Okay, we'll move on to something else. Okay, so does the 45 auto submachine gun have the ability to take on a legendary bloatfly? Let's find out, and yeah, just ignore that war zone in the background. That's just nothing but traders dealing with some fiends. So we'll go ahead and try to take him out. Obviously at this range this thing's going to be a little bit ineffective against a bloatfly like that, because he's able to duck and weave between my bullets, and coupled with the already pretty high spread of this weapon, I'm not going to be hitting many things very fast. So instead of doing that and shooting him from afar, we'll just go ahead and sprint right in whilst he's distracted on that gun runner. We're lucky enough to actually have that opportunity to shoot him. According to Vats, he says, yeah mate, you'll be doing right. And yep, with a critical there and hopefully some more criticals, we can almost kill the bastard. Indeed we can. 190 hit points left. Is he regenerating? I saw health regeneration there, and you all saw it too. And there we go, going up nice and close and personal with that there legendary bloatfly is a good way to kill him quickly, but unless you've got someone to distract him like old mate gun runner up there, you're gonna be pretty dead because he basically one-shots you. But yeah, this thing, power in close range, is great. That's the take-home message, children. We'll move on to something else. Okay, arachnophobes may want to turn away for this next segment because we're fighting 20, count 'em, 20 red scorpion queens, which only have 200 health. Okay, well, they're going to be pushovers, but it's going to be fun blasting these arachnid bastards to hell anyways. So yeah, this is playing right into the strengths of the 45 auto submachine gun, because this thing is very devastating at close range and quickly falls off at ladder ranges. But yeah, you know what, that's fine. This is probably what the weapon performs like in real life. Using the pistol bullets, they're not going to be holding their damage over a great distance like rifles would, because there's simply less weight in the projectile to get it that far. But yeah, I think I'm talking just basic physics now. It's not really relevant all that much. Also, that red scorpion just hit me for basically nothing. Okay, those guys were pushovers, but you know what? There's 20 or less red scorpion queens in the world now, which is great news. And as we look at all the dead bugs and bug guts everywhere, I think that is a good time to say goodbye to the 45 auto submachine gun. I think we get the picture now. I couldn't make it any more clearer. So if you'd like to see this thing in your game, make sure you have the Honest Hearts DLC and Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, that helps. And also, yeah, make sure you're packing heaps of ammo whilst you're using this, because this thing likes to use ammo very quickly. I started off this video with 3,000 of these Super 45 autos in my inventory, which I may or may not have used console commands to get. And yeah, it's not totally ammo efficient. I probably use more than half of them in the space of about, let's say 10 minutes. But Fallout New Vegas isn't combat all the time, so it'll probably last you a little bit longer. Just make sure you're packing heaps of ammo to actually use it. I'd imagine these hand-load super things are actually a little bit harder to come by, so yeah, you probably won't be able to make too many of them without them sort of being used all in one go. But yeah, it's a good little weapon, isn't it? Much better than what it's like in Fallout 4, which is the main focus of this video, because fucking shit in Fallout 4, Bethesda, what have you done, Todd Howard? You have to explain yourself. And as the bodies start disappearing out of thin air, I'm gonna call that a video there. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys.